Hello and welcome to another race here of Season 10 at the Degenerate Race League. Excited to be alongside each and every one of you here as we get ready for another exciting race for Season 10. Before we start, as always, let's take a quick moment to thank all of our Patreon subscribers. Without their love and support, we could not do what we do here. So thank you to each and every one of you on track or on the list here, and each and every one of you in chat with me tonight. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful evening, day, whatever it is for you. Let's take a look at our schedule here. We finished last week with our mystery track and an exciting race that it was. Now we're off in Barcelona tonight. Next week we're finding ourselves in Donington Park. Then we're off to Imola, then Spa, Mount Panorama, Misano, and we will wrap the season up with another mystery track. Excitement up and down the board for us. Now, let's take a look at race results from last week, and there was some drama in the steward's room. Professor Cronotis getting a penalty for the contact with Kyle Hirsch early in the race, pushing Ryan Bono, the rookie, into first place, and he's going to hold that first place standing with 21 points. We have Professor Cronotis in second, Gav Cook in third place overall. Next, we're going to roll into our Pro-Am class. With our Pro-Am class, we have Sam Zowiza, who held on first place, Alan Leung, the Silent Assassin, in second, and Jim Kelly in third. We'll see who is ready to mix it up here. We also had a slight adjustment to our classes. John Malott is actually in AM, so we'll have to get that fixed. But in our AM class, we had Scott Campagna, who came in first place. We had Gannon Faust in second, and then we have TJ Hope, Will Sanchez, Creamy Von Cream, and Ionis, who all have 0 points, whether it be disqualifications or what. Let's also take a look at the constructors. We got a lot of teams this season. We've paired up all our drivers into various teams. We have Chronic Motorsports, who's holding off in first. That is Professor Cronotis and Sam Zowiza, I believe. Let me pull this up just to make sure I got it all right. Well, we'll work on getting down the names. We got Velocity Team Racing in second place. Let's see. Velocity is made up of Ryan Bono and Jackson Adams. Let's see. We have Chronic Motorsports is Professor Cronotis and Sam Zowiza. And in third place, we have Braun GP, which is a continue of last season, and our constructors returning champions of Gavin Cook and Alan Leung. We also have Harriet Racing, which is going to be made up of Cam Waters and Arturs Hermanis. We have Gazophilia, which is Jim Kelly and Christopher Black. We have Hirsch Racing, which is Kyle and Daniel Hirsch. We have Cybercrooms, which is Senior Tarugo and Will Sanchez. We have Breakfast Club, which is John Malott, and it is Marion Satsara. We have Temporal Racing, which is Scott Campagna and TJ Hope. We have Goofy Racing, which is Gannon Faust, and Phoenix Supreme Racing, which is Creamy Von Cream and Ionis Kiadis. All right, without further ado, let's head over there. Practice is just wrapping up here. And we are going to be diving into qualifying as our last driver, number 52, Sam Zowiza, is making his way around the track here, finishing his lap at Barcelona. Barcelona is such a fun track to drive. Definitely a track that provides a lot of racing opportunities. This chicane right here that we're watching Sam slip and slide through, that's exactly what can happen. You're going to come down this straight here, which comes into a hard braking zone, an opportunity where you can look to make moves coming through these final turns. This is a tough chicane. This one's a little more elongated, and you can really affect your entry or exit speed as you wrap around really wide into that long start straight finish. As always, the first 10 minutes of qualifying here will be for our Pro-Am and AM drivers. And it looks like we are taking a break right now. So we got some people who are on break. All right, we got this reset up here. Let's get us out on the grid. It looks like driver number 85 is leading us out. Let's hop on with them. Is that right? 85? Why do I not see 85 on my... There we go. John Malott. John Malott is leading us out. The beautiful Breakfast Club livery. So just a reminder for all of you who might be new here, in qualifying, the Pro-Am and AM class get the first 10 minutes out on the track. There is no overtaking allowed in qualifying unless the driver invalidates his lap or chooses to concede that position. So you want to make sure you give yourself enough space to set those lap times. As we can see, car number, what is that? 777, TJ Hope, leaving a little bit of room to John Malott. We got the 127, Alan Leung, giving some separation there. Tarugo behind him. So we're going to have an exciting qualifying session. And how do I know this? Because we always have really qualifying sessions here. As we see TJ Hope actually invalidate there. We're moving here with John Malott through the final chicane here as he's going to wrap his way around this turn, focusing on his exit speed to get a good launch down this long main straight, get a great start to his lap. And we are off here with round 2, our first lap of qualifying. We're going to ride with John Malott and see what kind of lap time John Malott can put up right now. Great job by John using all that track, taking just a little bit of curb, trying to keep that car stable as he makes his way around. We got the sweeping turn here. Going to come all the way around, utilizing that full outside of the track as he does great. Get right up on that line. Utilize that curb to come into a little bit of a hard braking zone here as you make your way through this turn. A little bit tricky on this hairpin. You can definitely lose a little traction or spin. I'm sure we'll see some drivers come out. Come through this next little hairpin turn here, which is, again, a little bit tricky. You want to make sure you get good traction speed because you're coming up to a very hard braking zone. Again, this is where we'll see a lot of drivers take too much curb, which Malott almost did there. Go a little bit wide, but you want to get a great exit here as you do with most turns so you can maximize your exit out because we're coming down to another great overtaking opportunity on this track. You're coming down this long straight into a very hard braking zone and turn. You got to make sure you really rotate this car through. Utilize your trail braking to really line your car up and set yourself up. Find that little momentum. Find your flow as John is doing a great job hugging that apex tight as he works his way around. Set yourself up as you come through these final couple chicanes here and finish what so far is looking like a great lap for John Malott, who has taken no prisoners out there to start, but we'll see the lap time that he puts up as he crosses that finish line. Coming through the final turn here for John Malott. What has he got? He's going to be putting up a 147.4. Great lap for John Malott. Let's see who can put up something behind him. We got 127 behind him. That is Alan Leung, the silent assassin, crossing the start-finish line. He's going to take over pole position. Now they are in separate classes. Alan Leung with the 146.9. A way to drop the hammer down. Let's see. Tarugo is going to come with the 146.8. A tenth of a second. He's going to pass Alan Leung. And in between that tenth of a second is going to be Jim Kelly right behind Tarugo with the 146.87. We're talking about a hundredth of a second difference there. TJ Hope's going to come in with the 150.6. He's going to have a little bit of work to do to catch up to John Malott. Marion Satsar returning to the grid for season 10. His first lap here is a 151. He's going to look to improve that as well as we go along the track here. Let's swap on with Marion Satsara with the Breakfast Club livery, which is not correctly updated. That is a little bit on me because I am just realizing I forgot to update my liveries before the race started here. Oops. We'll see if we can sneak out, update it, and get back in here before our grid walk. Ooh, what a start already. Tarugo, Kelly, and Leung all a tenth of a second apart from each other. Incredible start to this race right now. Alan Leung is up big. As you know, if you've watched any of these 9 previous seasons here, Alan Leung hops in his rig right before qualifying starts, and he is figuring it out as he goes. He is called the silent assassin here because it takes him a little time to build up. But once he gets going, he just cuts down his opponents here during the race. And he's off to a great start with the qualifying. He is up by nearly half a second. This is a huge lap. If he doesn't lose it through this final chicanes here, as he's working his way through here, he's held on to it okay. Tarugo, Kelly is not improving. John Malott coming in with the 146.5 to take over overall pole position and holding the pole in the AM class. Here comes Alan Leung. He's going to take it from John Malott with a 146.3. Tarugo's got almost half a second he's going to have to find. Same with Jim Kelly if they want to catch up to him. Marion Sathsar, he's also on a big lap here as we watch him come around. He is up by 4.3 seconds. Christopher Black crossing the line. He's going to take pole position right there. Marion Sathsar coming through with the 151. An improvement for him, but not enough. But Christopher Black, he is back. Back in black, baby, with the 145.8. Incredible lap for him. Trying to see if anyone else is improving here. Not really seeing much. Gannon Faust, he crossed the line with the 151.7. We have Will Sanchez out there as well, who's putting up a lap here. Let's take a look. Let's ride along with Will Sanchez as we're looking at a mountainside here before this camera moves. That's a little better here. Let's hop on the hood of the car with Will Sanchez here of Team Cyber Crooms. What a qualifying already that we're getting out to. Alan Leung, he is also up again by about 4/10. Still early days in this lap. Gannon Faust is up by 7/10 of a second. Incredible lap for Gannon Faust. Almost a full second now. Jim Kelly's not improving. Tarugo's improving, but marginally. We're talking about hundredths of seconds. Sam Zuiza looks to be getting a good lap up there. We'll see if he can finally get a valid lap up on there. Other big news, as we will find out here, we've had a return to the grid of the great and powerful Neil Kerbel. He's put down the wine, he's put down the pussycats, and he is back to race here at DRL, and we are so excited that he is back. We're going to see Will Sanchez cross the line. Unfortunately, that was not a valid lap. Let's hop on with Alan Leung as he's going to cross the line for Braun GP, and that's going to be not enough for pole position, a 145.9. He's out by 7/100ths of a second, and Sam Zuiza is going to drop the hammer. Sam Zuiza coming in with the 144.7. That is over a second ahead of Christopher Black. Incredible lap for Sam, continuing his dominant streak. Absolutely incredible. Let's see, is anyone else improving here? Gannon Faust, he is up by 2.8 seconds as he's working away through his last 3 seconds already now. This is going to be a great lap for Gannon Faust. This is going to jump him up into potentially second place in the AM class, and it is with the 148.4. Incredible lap for Goofy Racing Crew's Gannon Faust. Gannon, there's absolutely nothing goofy about that lap right there. Incredible. Tarugo is up right now by 100th of a second. As we hop on, he gets a little squirrely there. He's going to lose his times. Not seeing much improvement by anyone leading. Tarugo is the only one who's really making any times. As I said that, I lied. Let's hop on with rookie driver Jackson Adams as he's working his way through. About midway through this track, he's up by about 4/10 of a second. He needs to find about a full second if he wants to jump Jim Kelly right now. He's up by 7/10. So Jackson Adams is improving. Job utilizing all that curb here. He's coming up here. He's got to get a good exit speed if he wants to be able to hold this time coming around here. He needs the second. He's got it by 1.2. This is an incredible lap for Jackson Adams right here. We want to keep an eye on Tarugo as well, what kind of time he puts in. But we're coming into a hard breaking point for Jackson. He's got to keep this on the track. It's easy to invalidate here. He does a great job of utilizing all that track, and he should be holding on to that. He's got to get tight with the apex here. He can't lose anything. He gets a little squirrely. He's going to lose his lap time there. And Jim Kelly, he's going to be up by 1.2 seconds right now. losing a little bit. Sam Zuiza, Tarugo crossed the line with the 145.6 to get up in second. This is a big lap for Jim Kelly. Is it going to be enough? I'm not sure it's enough for Paul, but it's going to get him in third place with the 145.7. Him and Tarugo are just battling it out constantly right now. Let's hop on with Jackson Adams. He's going to cross the line with the 147 flat. Great lap. Marion Satsara, he's working his way through pretty early in this lap still, but he is up a little bit. But Sam Zuiza is working through. Sam Zuiza's coming through, and he is up on his lap right now by about 3/10. These other drivers are coming through. This is it for the drivers. If whoever's on their lap, this is their final lap right now. Let's see, Christopher Black, he is not improving, so he's going to be done with his qualifying session. 777, that's going to be TJ Hope. TJ Hope is not improving, so he's going to be done. We got driver 107. Driver 107 is Will Sanchez. Will Sanchez will be the next to cross the line, and he is up by 1.2 seconds. He's got to hold it here. He took a little bit too much curb, unsettled the car, but he got great exit speed. He's up by 2 seconds now. This is going to be big for him. If he can get up about 2 seconds, if he can hold on to this, he may jump TJ Hope for third place. Going to need to find much more improvement than that to get past Gannon Faust, but he is going to be right there. Sam Zuiza is also improving. Nope, he's lost it. Tarugo's improving. I don't think it's going to be enough, but we'll have to hop on with Tarugo to see what he can do as we round out for this. All right, we got Will Sanchez cross the start-finish line. Is it enough for him to jump TJ Hope? It is. He's going to get ahead of TJ Hope. Tarugo's going to cross. Not enough. Our last is Marion Sassar as he works his way through the final chicane here. He's up by about 3/10 right now. This is going to be enough to jump him into second place if he can hold on to it. He's lost a little bit of time. He's going to push it. It's a drag race to the finish. And Sassar is going to not get ahead of Tarugo. He's going to miss out by 1,000th of a second on Tarugo. How about that? Incredible qualifying as always. Sam Zuiza, pole position in the Pro-Am class. We have, we got Sam Zuiza, pole position in the Pro-Am class with the 144.7 as we're riding along with Kyle Hirsch, just starting his lap for the pros. Tarugo in second place in Pro-Am, a 145.6. Marion Satsar with the 145.61. Jim Kelly with the 145.7. Alan Lee, Christopher Black with the 145.8. Alan Leung with the 145.9. Talk about incredible pace, incredible action. We're talking about between second place and sixth place. We're talking about 0.3 of a second separating all those drivers. Incredible racing here. I'm not sure, if Neil Kerbel may actually be our first one out there on track, but we're riding out with Kyle Hirsch right now, so we're going to keep riding along with Kyle Hirsch. And while we ride along with Kyle Hirsch, let's quickly go through our AM standings. We have John Malott holding down pole position in AM right now with the 146.5. Gannon Faust right behind him with the 148.1. Will Sanchez with the 150. And TJ Hope with a 150.6. Tight battle between Sanchez and Hope. Something to watch throughout this race tonight. And as always with our Pro-Am with our AM drivers, it is about consistency. Who can keep the car on the track? Who can piece together consistent, good laps? As we're seeing Kyle Hirsch really utilize all this lap. Let's hop over with our Helicam right now. All thanks to our Patreon Gold subscribers. We got ourselves here a helicopter at DRL. I'd love to see it. All right, we got Kyle coming across the line. Let's see. Is he the first to put up our time? Is this a valid lap? It is a valid lap for Ryan Bono. Ryan's going to put up a 143.7 to start this off. Gav Cook behind him with the 144.6. Cam Waters snuck in there as I was talking with a, what did Cam get? A 144.1. Professor Kronotis with a 144.8. Let's hop on with Neil Kerbel as he's working his way around the track. Excited to have Neil Kerbel back on the grid with us. All right, as we keep an eye on our standings here, we have Kyle Hirsch and Neil Kerbel, our two drivers who have not yet put up times. Artur Hermanis came in with the 144.8. Professor Kronotis was a 144.84. Professor Kronotis a 144.85. Again, thousandths of seconds separating us. All right, Neil Kerbel's taking that final chicane here, wrapping around to come across the start straight finish. And let's see if this was a valid lap for him. I don't believe it was, but I have been wrong many times before. It was not. We're taking a look up here. What drivers are up on their times? Professor Kronotis is up on his lap time right now as he's working his way through the back sector of this track. Cam Waters has jumped up with a 144.1 as he crossed the start-finish line, enough to jump Gav Cook right now. Artur Simonis is pretty much breaking even. Professor Kronotis has lost his time there. Kyle Hirsch has disappeared. Where did Kyle Hirsch disappeared into third place right as I was clicking off his name with a 144.16. Again, him and Cam Waters are currently separated by 100th of a second. Absolutely incredible. And Kyle Hirsch is up big on his lap time. Neil Kerbel also up right now, looking pretty good, although of course he's going to be up because this is his first valid lap. Kyle Hirsch is up really big to start this lap. Really big. He is up by about 0.4. This is our best improvement. Artur Simonis with a small improvement, but just enough to hop Sam Zowiza. Professor Kronotis is not seeing great improvement either. Ryan up here is also improving. Lost a little bit of time. It looks like he is running up on the back of driver 402, Kyle Hirsch. So we'll see if he needs to separate himself to put up a better lap. Although Kyle Hirsch is on a big lap here. We're really close to taking pole position here. We've seen Kyle do it. In fact, last race, we saw Kyle do it on the last lap of qualifying. Absolute cinema as he crossed that line to take pole position. Kyle is up big right now. This is a pole placing lap. If he can hold on to it, this back sector of the track can be tricky. Lots of opportunities for drivers just to lose a little bit of traction, a little bit of time. And as always in this qualifying session, we're talking about hundreds or thousands of seconds that are making the difference for our drivers. He's going to come through this final turn, wrap it around. This is a big lap. Ryan right behind him is on a big lap, so we may go pole, and Ryan may take it right back. Kyle's going to cross the line. He's going to take pole position. Ryan behind him. He's going to take it right back. Separated by 1/10 of a second. A 143.5 for Ryan. A 143.6 for Kyle. Absolute cinema by these drivers. Artur Simonis is working his way through this final sector of the track. He's up by about 0.4. This isn't going to be a pole lap for him, but this is going to make him some big places in the standings. Neil Kerbel, he came in with a 144.1 on his first returning qualifying lap. Found himself in 4th place. Needs about 0.6 of a second to get into that pole position. If anyone can do it, Neil Kerbel can do it. Big lap for Hermanis. He's going to cross the line. He's going to jump Gav Cook with a 144.3. Gav Cook's going to have to find 0.3 of a second. Right now, he is early days in his lap. He is up by about 0.2. Cam Waters is coming up big. Cam Waters is working his way through this track still. Lots of time still to improve, but he is up by 0.5 second. If he keeps up this pace, he will be looking to challenge Ryan. Ryan is in the pit, so is he just calling this a day? Is Ryan saying this is the best I can do? I hope not, because Kyle Hirsch is working his way through, and he's up by 0.2 of a second. He's up by enough to take that pole position back, and Cam is improving and improving and improving. Kyle Hirsch backing out of the lap. It looks like he's going to set himself up for one final lap. Hopefully that's not a mistake, because he was on a big lap there. And Cam Waters is also losing time like crazy. Is he just choosing to back out? What is happening with Cam Waters? Is he just catching up to Gav Cook? Wants to create some separation for a final lap? He is going to improve by about 0.03 of a second, but he was up big on this lap before he seemed to sort of back out of it here. Working his way around. Artur Simonis, he's up pretty good. We'll hop over to him in just a second. We're going to see Cam cross this line. He's going to improve his time a little bit. Not anything significant. With a minute or two left in qualifying, all these drivers as they cross the start finish, that is going to be it for them. Professor Kronotis, he's getting ready. This is going to be a final lap for him. Artur Simonis is up by about 0.3. This is going to be big for him. This might get him in front of Neil. It may even get him in front of Cam. He's going to cross the line and have one more time for one final valid lap. And with that, this is probably it for our drivers. He is going to jump Neil. He has put up an identical time to Cam Waters. Both of them right now are at 144. .055. Incredible, exact same pace. It'll all come down to this final lap. Ryan is in the pits. He's not getting out there. Let's see. Neil Kerbo will be the first to cross the line. Let's hop on with him. He's up by about 2/10 as he's working his way through the final sector. This is going to be close, and this is going to be exciting to see where these drivers come into play. Kyle Hirsch is improving. Cam Waters is improving. Arturis is pretty much running the same pace. Neil Kerbel, he's up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to cross the start straight finish. That is not enough for him. Kyle Hirsch is going to be our next driver to cross the line. He is up by about 0.2 of a second. All he needs is 1/10 to get ahead of Ryan Bono. What will he do here as he works his way through the final chicane? He's losing time. His time is tumbling. His time is tumbling. Is it going to be enough? It's not going to be enough. He's not going to get it. Miracles happen not twice in a row for Kyle Hirsch. But what about for Cam Waters? Can Cam make magic here tonight? He's going to come across the line, and it is not going to be enough for Cam Waters. This is going to leave Professor Chronotis. No, it's not. Professor Chronotis invalidates his lap. Unfortunate. So there you have it. Ryan Bono is going to take pole position. Kyle Hirsch in second. Cam Waters in third. Artur Shimonis in fourth. Neil Kerbel in fifth. And Gav Cook in sixth. Whew. That was exciting stuff here. Give me a quick second here. I'm going to pop over to intermission to see if I can update these drivers' liveries and get us back in here before our outlap. All right, we are loaded up into the race right now. What a qualifying session to start off there, huh? How about that? Let's get everything... Ooh. All right, there we go. Let us... All right, we got a minute 33. Let's run through here really quick. We got Ryan Bono in pole position. Alongside him, we got Kyle Hirsch. Next to him, we got Cam Waters. Alongside Cam Waters, we got Arturas Hermanis. We got Neil Kerbel holding down 5th place. Alongside him in 6th is Gavin Cook. Sam Zuizo holding down pole position for the Pro-Am class. Professor Kronotis is next to him. Then we got Senior Tarugo. We got Marion Sassar with his Kellogg's livery all loaded up. We got Jim Kelly. Then we got Christopher Black. Alan Leung. Then we have pole sitter John Malott for our AM class. Next to him, we have Jackson Adams. Next to Jackson Adams, we have Gannon Faust. Alongside Will Sanchez, and rounding out our grid is TJ Hope. Always exciting here to take a quick look at our drivers' cars, see what they are rocking and rolling with. Any predictions in chat tonight? Will Ryan go for consecutive wins? Will Kyle Hirsch be able to get the jump down the start main straight, or will he get the win? Great recovery drive last week for Kyle Hirsch. So unfortunate about the incident that he had, but it does happen, and that is racing. The great and powerful Neil Kerbel has returned to DRL. What magic will he be able to make happen out there on the grid? Sam Zuiza, a dominant showing in qualifying. Will that translate to a race strategy? Will Tarugo or Satsara be able to chase him down? Speaking of that, Tarugo, Satsara, Jim Kelly, Christopher Black, and Alan Leung, they were separated by 1/10 of a second basically each, like 3 tenths between the 6 of them or 7 of them. Exciting race to watch. How will that pace hold on? New rules this season. New rules state that you must take a pit stop. It's 25 seconds of fixed fuel time. 5 more seconds to take tires. We talked with a lot of drivers over the course of the week, and it seems like most drivers opted to take the tires for those extra 5 seconds. Our mystery track last week was at the Hungaroring, which can eat up your tires a little bit. We'll see how these drivers feel about Barcelona. Will they feel that the tires need changing, or will they give up those 5 seconds? We saw the difference in pit stops make a difference in the race win or loss for drivers. Ryan and Professor Kronotis were battling it out. Professor Kronotis had a perfect pit stop. Ryan came out about a second behind him, and that second was the difference. Or excuse me, you're talking about a second difference in the pit. Does it, how cleanly do you pull into the pit lane? Do you park in your box correctly? It all makes a big difference. But yeah, if you're hanging out with us here in chat, let me know, what predictions do you have? What drivers are you rooting for? Who are you following along with? Who do you want to win? I want to hear about all of it. We ride along with Ryan here as he works his way around the track. Take a look down the grid a little bit at some of our drivers here as we ride along with Jim Kelly of Gazophilia. And Professor Kronotis is in the pit lanes. So for whatever reason, he has decided to move to the pits, and he will take a pit lane start. Very interesting choice here for Professor Kronotis. Let's hop back over with, let's ride along with Will Sanchez here. So we watch our back end of the grid as they do their full outlap as always. And remember, talking about pit stops, we have our pit window. You cannot pit for the first 5 minutes. You cannot pit for the last 5 minutes. So when will the drivers decide to take that pit stop? Will they push a little long to see how those tires go? Will they get in and out really quickly? Since the fuel time is fixed, it doesn't matter if they're taking 100 liters or 3 liters. So will they start with low fuel to start the race? Try to get that little advantage, get up some positions, and then undercut. Fill up the car from there. It will be very interesting to see how the strategies unfold as the drivers are all figuring out what makes sense for them to do. Let's see if we can find a fun camera to get along with. I'm not sure we're going to. I think our best bet might just be the Helicam to watch this as we work our way down. We're watching the flag. It's a red flag right now, waiting for it to go green, and it goes green, and Ryan gets a great jump off the line. Kyle's going to find himself immediately under pressure from Cam Waters behind him. Neil Kerbel is also trying to find some sort of opportunity here. Arturas Hermanis, it looks like he got in front of him. Are we going to go 3 wide down to start? We are not. And we're going to have contact right off the bat. Right off the bat, Kyle Hirsch is getting contact. He's sliding around the track. He's making contact like a pinball. Ryan Bono is able to hold on through the contact. What an incredible start, but Kyle Hirsch is falling down. I think that might have been Cam Waters. It was not Cam Waters. It was, who was it? Arturas Hermanis, maybe, who also tumbled down the track. It was Arturas Hermanis. Let's see if we can hop on and go back about 30 seconds in time and watch that. Yeah, we're going to see that, just the contact. So unfortunate to start that race. Cars are just missiles sliding around. Gannon Faust, we see him in the back. An unfortunate victim in a crazy start to this race. Absolutely unbelievable start to this race here. But Ryan's not going to complain. He's going to find himself in first place. Gav Cook, he's going to make up some places. He's going to find himself in second place currently. Right behind Gav Cook is... who's that? Cam Waters. Cam Waters looking to make a move as we see Sam Zuiza and Neil Kerbel going side by side through the turn here. Great fair racing. Neil Kerbel's going to hold on to that position. Tarugo right behind him, but Jim Kelly has a little train behind him. There's no DRS here, but you might as well call it a DRS train. We got Jim Kelly. We got Kyle Hirsch desperately trying to make up that position as quickly as possible. Marion Sassar, the silent assassin, Alan Young, who wants to cut them all down. John Malot's half a second behind him. Christopher Black and Jackson Adams are also seeing what they can do here as we're working our way through the chicane. All the drivers are very cleanly able to get through. Arturas Hermanis, he's going to find himself in the back here. We got TJ Hope and Gannon Faust rounding it all out here. Ryan Bono is absolutely running away with it as we see down this main straight. He is up by over a second after one lap. Gavin Cook, he is going to have Cam Waters right behind him, but Neil Kerbel, welcome back to DRL. He's right on the back of Cam Waters. Neil Kerbel's looking to make something happen here. Let's hop on the hood of the car. Let's experience it from the great and powerful Neil Kerbel. Is he going to look to make a move here, bring it around the outside? He's not going to have the opportunity. He's going to try to throw it inside. He's not able to because Cam is defending that position. Coming around these turns, we're going to have a great opportunity in the hairpin. We saw him overtake Sam Zuiza there. Will he try to throw it in the inside? Will he look for a switchback? He's lining up a switchback. Is he going to have the opportunity? He's not. Cam has a perfect exit in that corner. He's going to have to wait. Neil will find his opportunity to strike. As we said that, Kyle Hirsch has got ahead of Jim Kelly as we ride along with this battle. This is our current no. Marion Sassar is right there on Jim Kelly. He's looking for anything to happen. Marion Sassar of the Breakfast Club has returned to Season 10 tonight for this race, and he's looking to make a splash. We got lots of action to keep an eye on because right behind him, we can see it in the rear view mirror of Marion Sassar is the silent assassin, Al Myung. Is this where Marion Sassar is going to throw it down on the inside? He thinks about it, but he's not going to. Probably a wise decision at this point. Professor Chronotis, he is working his way up the grid currently as we speak. Let's hop back on with Neil Kerbel. He's going to look to make Cam fill his mirrors. Make Cam think a little bit. He's got Gav Cook right in front of him, and he's got Neil Kerbel behind him. So Cam is a little sandwich right now. The filling of an Oreo, you might say. As Neil's coming down the main straight, Cam is absolutely running away with it, really showing off the straight line speed of that Ferrari. Neil's not going to have an opportunity to make a move, but is Cam going to look to make a lunge here? He's going to be too far back as we see these drivers use up all the curb there. He's going to get a great exit. We see Neil right in the back of him. Neil had a great exit speed going into that turn. Whew, we got a battle here. Jackson Adams, he's going to be continuing to work up. Marion Satsar is still right on the back of Jim Kelly. He is making Jim Kelly feel that pressure right off the bat. Who else is back? Cam is still there. Kyle Hirsch right on the back of Trugo. Let's hop on with this for a minute. Hop back into our helicopter here. Kyle is holding it, squeezing tight to that apex. Is he going to look to throw it in the inside? It looks like Kyle is. He's going to make the move on the inside. Tarugo's going to give him just enough space, and Kyle's going to make it work. He gave him centimeters worth of room, just enough, and Kyle Hirsch makes it happen to move up into 6th place. Next up, 4.5 seconds up the grid from him is Sam Zuiza. Neil Kerbel is right behind Cam Waters. Cam is still looking to make a move. Cam feinting a defense on the inside, moving back to that outside line. He's going to hug the apex tight. This is going to open up for Neil Kerbel. Neil's going to have it tight. Neil's going to hold on the inside. He's going to force Cam Waters a little wide. Cam's going to be able to make that stick okay. Incredible racing here because Sam Zuiza has just inserted himself into this battle as well. Gav Cook has to be a pig in shit right now because he's got 3 drivers battling. Sam went wide in the background. This is going to be able to open it up for Gav to breathe a little bit. We got a little bump draft there by Neil Kerbel. No harm, no foul. Rubbing his racing, right? Here we go down the main straight. Is Neil going to be able to make a move here? It looks like he got a bit better of exit speed there. Is he going to be alongside? Let's hop on the hood. It doesn't look like he's making up enough time here to throw a lunge down on the inside. Neil takes a lot of speed through this turn, so is he going to be able to open up something in turns 3 or 4? Let's see how this goes. Oh, this is so important right here, maximizing this exit speed. We got Marion Sassar, who's immediately hopped into the pit lanes here. Incredible to think that 6 minutes has already gone by in this action-packed race right off the bat. Where's the opportunity going to be for Neil? Cam is closing that gap on Gav Cook, but he has the pressure of Neil. Sam Zuiza has fallen about 1.5 seconds back as he went off the track through those chicanes, taking a little too much speed. Is Neil going to be able to open up an opportunity for himself? Nowhere yet. Let's hop on quickly with Professor Chronotis right now as they're making our way through. Professor Chronotis looking to attack Christopher Black. I don't know if Christopher Black is going to look to challenge him too much or if Christopher Black is going to try to make up some time on these other drivers, but Christopher Black is doing a great job of defending Professor Chronotis, and Professor Chronotis is trying to play a little bit safe here, not risk any contact and wait for that opening. Christopher Black's going to run a little wide. That's going to affect his exit speed. This is going to line up Professor Chronotis down this long straight up here. As we said, Christopher Black take a little bit of curb there too, but is Professor Chronotis going to be brave enough to lunge it in on the inside? We will have to see. He is not a great job by Christopher Black to hold that position, and we'll see where Professor Chronotis can hold anything off. Let's quickly hop over to TJ Hope as he chases down Gannon Faust. Gotta show love to our incredible AM drivers as well, as these guys are absolutely battling it out on the grid. We are going to hop over quickly here to Neil Kerbel. He's coming down the main straight. He is breathing down Cam Waters' neck, but Cam Waters is breathing down Gav. Cam's going to move it into the inside. Is he going to make the move stick? He is going to go deep. We'll see what's going to happen as he's going to try to rejoin and see how he can hold his position. Gav's going to get through. He's going to try to put a tight squeeze on Neil Kerbel. Is Neil going to be able to make it through? We got to hop in our helicopter to see this wheel-to-wheel action as they come through turns 3, moving down turns 4. Cam's going to make him think. Neil's got the inside line. Neil's going to just back out, or is he? He's just going to line himself up wheel to wheel. Neil, can you hold on to it? He's getting squirrely. He's going to push wide. Elbows out racing here at DRL. Oh, we're so close. These guys are absolutely breathing down each other's throat. Neil Kerbel, welcome back. You have made that move stick. Gav Cook is next on your list. Let's see how Neil is able to deal with the incredible Gav Cook and his defense out there from Team Braun Racing. As he learned from one of the best here in DRL, but he may not have an option here down the straight line speed because Neil Kerbel is right down his back. Neil's going to take it on the inside. Gav's going to try to put a little bit of a squeeze on him. Neil's going to run wide. That's going to give Gav the position. It also brings Cam Waters right there. Neil's going to be able to barely hold on to that. Absolutely incredible racing here right now. Professor Chronotis, he got ahead of Christopher Black, or did he? They're absolutely wheel to wheel. There's Jackson Adams as well. Jackson Adams does not want any of this from Professor Chronotis. He's going to let both of these drivers through as he's going to fall back, but Professor Chronotis takes that position. Neil Kerbel was able to hold on down this, throughout those turns from Cam Waters through that back sector. Tight racing. Cam Waters is already showing he's going to try to make that move on the inside. I don't think either driver has enough here, but who will be able to hold it through these turns? We saw Cam Waters go a little wide here last time. That cost him positions. Not a problem this time for our incredibly skilled drivers as we have wheel-to-wheel action. Neil is right down the back of Gav right now. He is breathing that British exhaust right now. In fact, he is in a British sandwich right now between... Right, I think it's Cam rocking the UK flag or Australian flag, excuse me. Ryan Bono, we have not talked about him too much, so it's because he is up by 7 seconds. Absolute alien pace by Ryan right now. Let's see what else we can hop on as these are kind of set. We see Tarugo and Jim Kelly absolutely battling it out. Incredible racing, and right behind them is the silent assassin, Alan Leung. Will he find an opportunity for a double kill right now? Whew. Trying to catch my breath here. Kyle Hirsch did get ahead of Sam Zuiza as we've been going through this incredible action-packed racing, but Sam is not giving up that position. Tarugo is 8.5 seconds behind Sam Zuiza right now, but Jim Kelly is right behind Tarugo. So is Alan Leung. Hermanis is looking to cut down John Malott. We see them in the background. Hermanis faking it on the inside. He's not going to look to make this move stick yet. John Malott has great pace here as he leads the AM class. Absolutely incredible. Let's see here. Neil Kerbel, he is still right there. Nothing. No, Cam Waters. Oh, let's see if we can go back 15 seconds and catch this. It looks like maybe there was contact between Neil Kerbel and, I don't know if I can go back another 15 seconds. No, I can't. I should have gone 30 seconds. So unfortunate. But yes, Cam Waters has found himself up in second place. He has a 2.5 second lead to Gavin Cook and a lead to Neil Kerbel. Let's see, Alan Leung and Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly decided to go into the pits. Okay, so that's what happened with Jim Kelly. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy here. So Tarugo has Alan Leung behind him. Let's hop on with TJ Hope and Gandon Faust. AM drivers, wheel to wheel. TJ Hope making a great move to get ahead of Gandon Faust. What is going to happen here? Is Gandon going to be able to do something down this main straight? He's getting right in the back. Let's hop on with Gandon Faust. Let's get on the hood of his car here. Is he going to make a move? It's all going to come down to the braking zones for the AM drivers. Where will they brake? Gandon's thinking about it. He's braking a little bit later, but he's braking a little bit more. Oh, he's got some great exit speed here. This is going to line up an opportunity for Gandon Faust. Keep an eye ahead of the grid as we have tight battles up and down the grid, but this is incredible battle here between Gandon Faust and TJ Hope, and I don't want to look away from it. Is this going to be Gandon's opportunity? He's going to run right in the back. He's going to have to take evasive action from not hitting TJ Hope. A great reaction there. Let's hop on with Hermanis. Hermanis is throwing it on the inside throughout this back hairpin. Is he going to be able to keep it on track as he hits the switchback? A little bit of contact there with John Malott. Professor Chronotis is able to react well and avoid it. We have Neil Kerbel right down the back of Gavin Cook here. Let's see what happens. And behind them, we have Kyle Hirsch and Sam Zuiza have found themselves in the mix. So Cam Waters is going to be happy with a 3-second lead after it was a very intense 5 laps. Neil Kerbel throws it on the inside. Here's going to be his opportunity. Can he slow the car down and make it stick? They are absolutely hair width apart. Cannot believe they did not run into the back of each other. Kyle Hirsch is looking to now attack Gav Cook. Can he make it happen as well? He's right there. He's going to take it in a little bit on the inside. He's not going to have the speed to make that happen. Very unfortunate for Kyle Hirsch, as that was a great move. Gav's able to hold it on. Let's see, we got Professor Chronotis. He's looking down to chop down John Malott as well as he continues his recovery drive from the pit lane. We have Jim Kelly and we have Marion Satsar, our only 2 drivers who have decided to take their pits, going with an undercut strategy. So we will need to watch and see how that played out. Did they take tires? Did they not? John Malott looking to get wide and really defensive. He's putting a squeeze on Professor Chronotis. Professor Chronotis is going to do his best to hold that position. He's got to be careful that John doesn't run wide. Great racing by all drivers. Here we go. Kyle Hirsch, is he going to throw it on the inside? We got here just in time because he is. They're trying to slow the car down. They do. They're going to go wheel to wheel here. Oh, Kyle's going to be able to throw elbows out and just make a move. He's going to get through. Sam Zuiza, he's looking to attack as well on Gav Cook. Gav Cook is going to have to stop himself from tumbling down the order and look to put some pressure on attacking Kyle and Neil here as Neil looks to start chasing down Cam Waters. Let's see, Professor Chronotis, he got ahead of John. Oh, let's go back about 15 seconds here. Let's see, Christopher Black and John Malott here. John Malott coming in on the inside of Christopher Black. Great side-by-side action. These guys are going wheel to wheel here as they work their way through the start of this chicane here. And Christopher Black, he just took a little curve, ran a little bit wide. No harm, no foul. We are racing still. Gav Cook is still trying to chase down Kyle Hirsch, but he has Sam Zuiza. Gav Cook has been in 8 laps of battles already this race. He's got to be feeling that pressure. He's got to be begging for a little bit of breathing room. Neil Kerbel has ran ahead by about 2 seconds on Kyle Hirsch. Great for Neil Kerbel as he's trying to chase down Cam Waters, and Cam Waters is trying to close a 10-second gap to Ryan Bono, who's out there with really just a nice Sunday stroll around Barcelona. Let's hop on with Chris Black as he's chasing down John Malott. Where's he going to find that opportunity to strike as he tries to line up a turn here? Is he going to try to make it in this next little hairpin? It's a great opportunity. We've seen a lot of drivers throw it in on the inside. We see John going really wide and aggressive defending there, really forcing that position, elbows out, hard defensive racing there. And that was going to force Chris to back out a little bit. We'll see how many laps Chris sticks behind John, and does he expect that? We saw John get defensive like that with Professor Chronotis, and now get defensive like that with Chris. Will Chris learn that, look to fake the outside and try to throw that car on the inside as John pushes his car to that outside defensive position? We will see next lap if we get one, because Chris is throwing it on the inside here on the hairpin. John's going to put a tight squeeze on him there. They're going to have a little bit of bumping, nothing too bad. They've swapped positions this time, and let's see, the outside line looks like it might win again, but John's not ready to give it up yet. They're wheel to wheel, battling it out. Here we come through the next turn. This is going to fare well for John. John's going to hold it. Great racing, but now we go on the next chicane, and they're going to bump a little bit. Oh, a tight squeeze put on them. Very tough to see. These cars were side by side there. Let's go back, take another look at that as they worked their way through. Very tight racing. Side-by-side cars, very tough, not a full car width given. The question, though, is did he have to? That is not for us to decide here. That is why we have our incredible stewards as we see Sam Zuiza putting the pressure on Gav Cook here. Gav has fallen about 1.5 seconds behind Kyle Hirsch, and now he has the pressure of Sam Zuiza. Tarugo, Hermanis are all battling it out right now as we see Alan Leung and chasing down Tarugo, and right behind him is Hermanis. A tight battle here. Who else is in the mix with them right there? Arturas Hermanis, he got ahead of Alan Leung as we were talking. So the silent assassin is assassinated himself. He's got to make a comeback here as he attacks Hermanis, or does he just ride along with Hermanis, wait for Hermanis to make a move on Tarugo and try to ride along with it, because here's going to be an opportunity for Hermanis. They're going down the straight. Hermanis taking the outside line, Tarugo on the inside. Will Hermanis look for the switchback move, as we also see Professor Chronotis in the background there? Clean racing, although Hermanis went a little wide. That's going to open up for Alan Leung to be right there in the back. Just keeping that pressure on Alan Leung, as he always does, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. As we watch this, we're going to quickly run down the order of Ryan Bono in first place for Pro Class, Cam Waters in second, Neil Kerbel in third. That is our current podium as it stands. For our Pro-Am class, we have Sam Zuiza, who's up there leading the charge again. Tarugo in second, Alan Leung in third, the battle we're watching here. And in our AM class, we have John Malott out there leading the charge, followed by TJ Hope and Gannon Faust, as Arturas Hermanis is going to look to throw it in on the inside, but is he going to have to slow it down too much? Tarugo does a great job of carrying speed through these turns, these windy turns that you really just need to find that flow through. It's going to work good for him. Alan Leung has decided to go into the pits here. He will be our fourth driver to pit. We have Jim Kelly, Marion Southstar, and Jackson Adams. All our Pro-Am drivers are pulling into the pit lanes relatively early here. So we will see how the strategy plays out. Hermanis looking for any opportunity. This is going to be a good opportunity, although Tarugo has the inside line. That's the line you're going to want going through this turn, and he's just going to have to wait. And Hermanis is going to try to find some sort of opening, fill up Tarugo's mirrors, make him think, and create pressure. Where will it be? Here it is. Both drivers are going to run really wide. This is going to open up for Professor Chronotis. Is Professor Chronotis going to look to strike? His best opportunity is going to be down this start straight. Will Sanchez is going to get a stop-and-go 30-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Tarugo moving on the outside. Professor Chronotis trying to decide where he wants to go and does he want to get in the mix. He's just going to sit behind them. Hermanis looking for some type of switchback. It's not really going to work out great for him, although Professor Chronotis is going to back out of that. He's not going to attack. All these drivers waiting for an opportunity to strike. Sam Zuiza, we also want to keep him because he is absolutely breathing down the neck of Gav Cook right now. Let's see if he looks to make a move down this start straight line. As the drivers work their way down, will Sam Zuiza throw it in on the inside? He's right behind Gav Cook. This could be an opportunity if he can slow down the car enough. He's going to think better of it right now. Decide not to make that move. Kyle Hirsch is our first pro driver to come into the pits and make his pit stop. Let's hop back on with our Turns Hermanis and Professor Kronotis chasing down Tarugo. Coming down this main start straight. Well, one of these drivers, Professor Kronotis, is going to throw it in the inside. He's going to make... he's going to make Tarugo... No, he's going to make Hermanis think a little bit, and Hermanis is not going to attack Tarugo because these guys are running 3 wide. These guys look like the Blue Angels out there with this formation racing that they're doing, all side by side with each other. No room to spare. Kronotis fading on the inside. It's not going to work for him. It's not going to affect Hermanis, or will it? Sam Zuiza is falling back. Just itty-bitty teeny tiny there. Alan Leung has come out of the pits. Alan Leung is going to find himself behind Jim Kelly right now by about 7 seconds. So either Leung took tires and Kelly did not, or something else happened. Will be interesting to find out how this race unfolds. Kyle Hirsch has had a successful pit stop, but here we go. As we work our way through, Hermanis is going to run wide. This is going to open up for Professor Kronotis. Professor Kronotis is going to take the inside line. Neither of these guys can afford to compromise their exit speed as they try to chase down Tarugo. Although Professor Kronotis is probably fine just to cut down one of these two drivers. They are so close to each other. Hermanis is going to hold the inside. Kronotis is going to try to carry the speed on the outside. Who will it play off better for? Hermanis gets a great exit. He's going to get a great defense, and Kronotis is not going to try to make anything happen. Tarugo ran a little wide. Hermanis is going to get through. Will Kronotis get through as well? Defensive move by Tarugo, but Kronotis has the inside. Kronotis is going to decide to back out rather than risk contact, but the mistake by Tarugo opens the door for Hermanis, and Hermanis takes it. Kronotis right there on the inside. Did they bump? Did they bump? It looks like they bumped. Let's go back 15 seconds. Let's see what happened. Did they bump? That was tight. Tarugo, or Kronotis threw it in on the outside. He was there on the inside. So tight. Just a little bump. Just a little push. Line the car back up. Kronotis is through, but Tarugo, unfortunately, falls down. Neil Kerbel's in the pit. Cam Waters is in the pit. Christopher Black is not in the pit. Christopher Black is going to get through these drivers as he's going to keep chasing them down. Sam Zuiza is about a second behind Marion Satsara. He's chasing down Alan Leung, 0.2 of a second behind. Is this going to be an opportunity to attack? We got to keep an eye on the pits. We have 4 drivers: Cam Waters, Tarugo, Malott, and Neil Kerbel in the pits. Neil, we'll see where these drivers all end up coming out. This will be close as they work their way out. Looks like Kyle Hirsch has got ahead of Neil Kerbel and Cam Waters. Cam Waters is still in the pits. This is a long pit for Cam Waters as he's coming out now. Maybe we looked at tires versus no tires between him and Neil Kerbel and how will this play out. But Cam Waters has come out about 12 seconds behind Neil Kerbel. So that pit lane strategy worked very well for Neil Kerbel. So taking a look at the pit stops, Kyle Hirsch jumped Neil Kerbel and Cam Waters. Neil was able to jump Cam Waters. We're still riding along with Marion Satsara as he's chasing down Alan Leung to try to find some opportunity. And I am just realizing I don't have the right little overlay description on. Now we're officially racing with 20 minutes left. We are over halfway done with this race, and this has been constant, non-stop racing action out there. I'm going to have no voice left tomorrow as Gannon Faust is going to pull in, and he's going to look to take his pit stop here. As we take a look at total lap times, the best lap time so far of the session is held by Ryan Bono with a 1:43.7. Absolute incredible lap time there put up by Ryan Bono. We're still following along with Marion Satsara as he tries to make something happen. Professor Kronotis is in the pits. Where will he come out relative to Kyle Hirsch, Neil Kerbel, Cam Waters? As a reminder, Professor Kronotis did start in the pit lane. This has been an incredible recovery drive for him out there. We have over half the grid has chosen to take their pit stops. It seems like most drivers are taking it mid-race, which is leading me to believe a lot of these drivers are deciding to take the tires. They're using half a race worth of tires, because the fuel amount isn't matter. It's the fixed 25 seconds. This is still our closest battle, so it is what we're going to ride along with. Let's see if we can get some pit stop statistics. All right, let's see. Total pit time. Cam Waters coming in with a 1:22 total pit time, 49 seconds for time stopped. Compare that to Kyle Hirsch, who had a 1 minute 4 second pit stop, 32 seconds total time pit. Neil Kerbel, 109.38 seconds stopped. But it looks like our fastest pit time is held by Jim Kelly, who came in with a 1 minute flat and 27 seconds time stopped. Looking like Jim Kelly decided not to take tires just based off that time. Oh, Ryan is in the pits. Our race leader has exited the pit lane, and where will he come out? Will Kyle Hirsch be able to close that gap? This is going to be close. This will be exciting to see. Marion South Star chasing at Alan Young is still our closest battle, and it's the one we want to keep an eye on, but we want to watch where does Ryan come out. Sam Zuiza is also closing this gap a little bit. Arturas Hermanis is going to get through Ryan, but Arturas has not taken his pit step, so Ryan will get that whenever it is that Arturas Hermanis decides to take his pit stop. Man, we have had some racing today. Sam just chasing down Gav. Man, I don't think Gav has had a second tonight to just breathe for a minute and maybe enjoy his time out there. Ryan he did get ahead. Ryan's going to come out in third place, fourth place overall in the standings as he comes out of the pit lane. Kyle Hirsch coming down that main straight. So Kyle Hirsch, he's going to find himself, we'll find out here as he kind of works his way through. He's going to find himself about 14 seconds behind Ryan here. Neil Kerbel is chasing down. We got a tight battle here as Neil Kerbel has closed that gap. This is now our closest battle as Gav has stretched that lead by about a second and a half over Sam Zuiza as it currently stands. If you've been hanging out with chat, I would love to hear, do you have a driver of the day nomination as of now? Is it the dominant race we've seen by Ryan Bono right now? Has it been Neil Kerbel or Cam Waters? Has it been Gav Cook holding off and having some incredible racing? Or is it someone down the grid? We saw some great racing by Gannon Faust and TJ Hope. Is that something that's worthy of a driver of the day? We've seen Jim Kelly. He's currently holding off. No, he's in second. Sam Zuiza, a dominant performance in the Pro-Am class right now. He's in the pits. So we'll see where he ends up coming out. So many potential drivers of the day. We'll have to figure something out before this is over. We see Neil Kerbel. Neil Kerbel's going to come through. What did we just witness here? That was absolutely insane here. Let's go back and see what we just saw. Who did Kyle Hirsch run into the back of there? I am unsure who that was. It must have been some back marker there. I think it was TJ Hope trying to pull out of the way, created chaos. Chaos creates excitement as we are riding along right now on the hood of Kyle Hirsch's car as he looks to chase down Neil Kerbel and make something happen. Sam Zuiza is in the pits. Arturas Hermanis is in the pits. That leaves one driver who has not pit this race, and that driver is Gav Cook, who's currently holding the lead. He finally has a chance to breathe. A 45-second gap to Ryan Bono. Kyle Hirsch is right there on Neil Kerbel, trying to make something happen. As a reminder, our shortest pit stop that we've seen tonight was from Arturas Hermanis and Jim Kelly. Both of them, a perfect pit stop, nearly 27 seconds stopped. I think taking a look at this, a minute is about the closest that you're going to find yourself at. Gav Cook may find himself in third place if he gets that perfect pit, as we're seeing Neil Kerbel and Kyle Hirsch work their way through some back markers, trying to get around Gannon Faust there as they do successfully, but they're feeling the pressure. They don't want anything holding them back. We're going to quickly hop on with Professor Knotis as he's going to try to make a move here on Jim Kelly. He's going to try to run it on the outside. It's not going to work well here through this turn, but it's going to line up the next turn. We've seen a lot of drivers make moves here. Professor Knotis is going to try it on the outside. Jim Kelly's not going to waste any time battling with Professor Knotis. He's going to let that move stick, and that is an overtake for Professor Knotis. We have Kyle Hirsch now continuing to chase down the great, the powerful, the sommelier himself, Neil Kerbel, who has returned to DRL. In exciting battles. We also have Cam Waters. Cam Waters was, I guess Sam Zuiza overcut him as he finds himself ahead. So Cam Waters is going to try to get ahead of Sam Zuiza right now. He is about 3 tenths behind them. They have a back marker in front of them that they're going to try to work their way through. And how does this affect a possible overtake move? it looks like Cam is not going to have an opportunity to throw it in on the inside. That driver's going to have to lift and coast to let them through. He is going to do that at the end. Great job by the blue flagged marker, or the blue flagged back markers, to let the faster drivers through on the next available straight. Unfortunately for Cam, or fortunately, because Cam's got it right there on the inside as he's going to try to get past Sam Zuiza. He's going to hold that tight line. That's going to line him up very well to take the inside line here for this next turn. No, he's going to slow it down a little bit. He's going to get great exit here. This is going to line him up to take that position. He's taking it from Sam Zuiza. Will he get defensive inside? No, he's just going to maximize the best exit speed. Great move by Cam Waters. Absolute cinematic racing there. Cam Waters, incredible race tonight. Interesting to try to find out from him what happened in the pit lane. All right, Gav Cook here. Running very wide, losing a little bit of time here to Ryan. I think Gav's got to get into the pits. I mean, there's 10 minutes left in the pit window. And I gotta figure out how to stop the ads. We'll have to take a look at the ads for next stream because these have popped up a whole bunch today. And no one likes an ad. All right, so we got Kyle Hirsch still chasing down Neil Kerbel. This has been incredible racing here. Neil Kerbel holding off third place after we saw Kyle kind of make a little bit of evasive action to, well, avoid a car. Car 227 is off the track. Who is car 227? That is Gannon Faust as he looks to rejoin, and it looks like there's contact with someone or something back there. Can we go back and see? We got Gannon trying to rejoin the track. No, we got a car just spinning out. That's all it was. A great job by Gannon Faust to not rejoin the track as drivers are coming through. Although it looked like right behind there, someone was potentially rejoining the track and causing a little bit of a code brown. Marion Satsara, what happened to Marion Satsara? He's going to come through. These drivers are just pulling up on these curves and losing traction. A slippery slope of traction for these drivers. So unfortunate. Marion Satsara is going to get back. Let's get back into real time. We are there right now. We're back into real time as we got Alan Leung looking to make a move on Jim Kelly. This is for second place. The Silent Assassin looking to strike. We have 12 and a half minutes left in this race. 7 minutes for our pit window. Gav Cook has pulled into the pit window, so where will he come out? Will Neil Kerbel be able to get past him? Will Kyle Hirsch, will he find himself between a Kerbel-Hirsch sandwich? We will find out here shortly. Neil Kerbel's got through. Kyle Hirsch is going to get through. Will Cam Waters get through as well? Gav Cook's coming out. We're going to see Cam Waters all the way down starting that straight. So this is going to work out for Gav Cook. He's going to find himself in fourth place overall. Let's get back over with Alan Leung chasing down Jim Kelly. We also want to keep on John Malott, who is chasing down Tarugo. Tarugo has tumbled down the grid here throughout this race. We'll have to find out. There must have been something. Oh, Tarugo did. I think Tarugo might have had contact at one point. Not sure. There's been a lot that has happened this race. This has been an incredible race tonight. One of the most memorable races I can think of in a while. And as always, these races, these last like 5 minutes, action gets very intense. Sometimes we'll find ourselves with a little bit of a lull mid-race as drivers are kind of finding their pace, but not tonight. Malott is 0.3 of a second behind him. Alan Leung, 0.7 behind Jim Kelly. So we have two battles that we are watching. Let's hop on the Kellogg's car of breakfast car. This livery is great, right? Is what we say. It looks like he's not going to have the pace coming down this straight here to make a move on Tarugo. So he will sit behind Tarugo for a little bit unless he can force a mistake. We've seen a lot of drivers take this curb right here. That little sausage curb behind it is unsettling the cars. The cars are worn down, the tires are old, and they are spinning as they lose traction. So we will see what can John Malott do here. Will he find his opportunity? 0.3 behind Tarugo. He looks to continue to close that gap as we work our way through this little hairpin. We're coming to our next hairpin. We've seen a lot of drivers throw it in on the inside. Are we going to see a lunge by Malott? We are not. It is way too far back in this race for lunges. And as we say that, we are going to see Professor Chronotis fall to Artur Sermanis. Let's see if we can go back in time and try to catch what happened there. We can't. We didn't go back enough. Very unfortunate. We're going to just hop on with John Malott as he continues to chase down Alan Leung. We are back in now. We are back live. Is he going to throw it in on the inside? There is an opportunity here. He's going to think better of it, and Tarugo gets really defensive, taking that inside line. Let's hop over to Alan Leung and Jim Kelly. We're coming down this main straight here. We're going to ride along with this bumper, and one of these times down the main straight, we're going to see something happen. We also want to keep an eye on Professor Chronotis, who's 2/10 behind. We got Alan Leung running really wide. He's going to slow that car down late. That's going to give Jim Kelly an opportunity to run away with it a little bit. Let's hop on with Professor Chronotis' hood. Let's see if he can make something happen. Professor Chronotis is running really wide here. As he looks to make something happen. He's got that car all over the road right now as he's trying to extract every thousandth of a second that he can from it. Alan Leung once again is breathing down. Jim Kelly's next. Ooh, he almost runs in the back of it as Jim Kelly's going to take a slow, aggressive line there. Aggressive defense, I should say, to really hold and tug that apex tight. This is going to open it up for Alan Leung as they come here. This is an interesting opportunity. Do you try to force it here than the inside? Alan Leung is thinking about it, but you have this nice long straight. You're much better off maximizing your exit here as you come down to this tight hairpin turn. Alan Leung, he's falling about half a second back. This is going to be hard to make up down the straight. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it, and he's not going to do it. Find your next opportunity to strike. 8.5 minutes left to go. Jim Kelly is 10 seconds behind Professor Chronotis, almost 11 seconds. So these drivers know this battle for second place in the Pro-Am class right now is between them, and Alan Leung just needs to find his opportunity to strike down. John Malott has got ahead of Tarugo as well as we've been watching that battle. Not sure how that happened, and he ended up over a second ahead, but that is something that happened and happened very quickly. Professor Chronotis, he is also still breathing down the neck of Artur Sermanis as they battle out in the Pro class. We got two tight battles here, Leung and Kelly and Chronotis and Hermanis. Chronotis is right there. He is reading the license plate of Hermanis. He's going to look to make it in the inside. No, he's just going to fake. He's not going to have the overlap to do that. Let's quickly hop back on with Leung and Kelly. See if there's an opportunity to strike there. No, Hermanis is falling back. What happened here? Let's go back and take a look at our replay. He's there. Hermanis is going to spin a little bit. He just loses traction. A great car control from Hermanis to prevent more damage. A bigger spin. Something else from happening. Hermanis held on to it, but Professor Chronotis got through. Alan Leung's going to hope to make something like that happen to Jim Kelly, who he's chasing down. Kyle Hirsch is closing it to less than a second on Neil Kerbel. With little less than 7 minutes left in this race, is Alan Leung going to look to make the move? No, Jim Kelly's going to do a great job of getting really defensive, and he's going to force Alan Leung back. If you don't have the overlap, you don't have right to that space. Jim Kelly's doing a great job of holding his position and not flinching under the pressure. Kyle Hirsch has got this gap down to half a second. These two drivers are racing for second and third place here in the Pro class. Gav Cook is about 10 seconds behind them as he's going to look to see how he can close that gap over the next 6.5 minutes. Will be difficult to do, but these two drivers are both 18, almost 19 seconds behind race leader Ryan Bono. We've talked about him a lot, but we haven't watched him a lot because there's been action up and down the track this race. Absolute incredible racing tonight. If you're tuning in late, I absolutely recommend that you hop back and watch this race in full to see how it kind of unfolded throughout this whole race. Tight battles up and down the grid, action-packed. I don't think we have had a single lap this race that there hasn't been a driver within half a second of another driver throughout this race. We got two right now. We got Kyle Hirsch and Neil Kerbel, and we got Alan Leung and Jim Kelly. These are the two closest battles right now. Right now 3/10 for these two. Kyle and Neil are half a second apart from each other. So this is what we will watch for the moment. When Neil and Kyle go down the main straight, we will quickly hop over to them and see if something can be made right there. But these guys wheel to wheel, and we may not go down there if this battle continues this closely. We're going to keep an eye on the times, but right now this is the closest. And Jackson Adams, he is closing the gap on Tarugo as well, so something else. That is under a second. So we're going to watch that. Is this Leung's opportunity? Leung is going to look to throw it on the inside. He didn't have the overlap, and Kelly aggressively defends that position. He doesn't want to lose it, and he's not going to lose it. He's going to hold that position. Alan Leung reacts well to it. Great racing by these drivers. Jim Kelly is not ready to forfeit that position. Alan Leung's going to look to throw it in the inside here. He's not going to have the overlap, and he's going to have to back out of it once again. These drivers want it, and they want it bad, looking for any opportunity to attack or strike as they're going to come out through this final turn down this long main straight. Can anything be made to happen as they come here? Will Alan Leung look to feint on the inside, or will he look to just make that move on the inside? He's coming down the main straight. He is chasing down Jim Kelly for position. Kyle Hirsch is up to 0.8 of a second behind Neil Kerbel. So this is our closest bad. Alan Leung is really utilizing all the track for that braking zone. This is going to be great for him as we see that gap close and close and close. He's going to line up this next turn. Jim's going to have to brake a little more than Alan is. This is going to be great speed for Alan as he's going to come down. Although Alan has to react to the braking a little bit, and that's going to affect his exit there. He's not going to make a move here, but on this next hairpin, is he going to have an opportunity to throw it in on the outside or look for a switchback on the outside? We will find out momentarily. Cam Waters has closed the gap to Gav Cook as well. This is down to 0.8 of a second. Alan Leung not making anything happen here. Let's hop on and look at some of the other action on the grid. Cam Waters, welcome back to the stream. Gav Cook, welcome back to the stream. Gav had 2 laps to breathe, and now he is back in the action with Cam Waters chasing him down. An exciting battle for 4th and 5th place in the pro class. What racing we're seeing here. 3 drivers right now in this final 3 minutes. Is this going to be Cam's opportunity coming down the straight? Are we seeing some of these drivers who maybe didn't take tires? Oh, here he goes. Cam feinting on the inside, just making Gav think a little bit. He's going to pull it back to that outside line, focus on maximizing his speed. You know Cam is putting the pressure. He is finding any opportunity to force a mistake by Gav. Gav running a little bit wide there. Ooh, although Cam got really twitchy coming out. I don't know if he was just reacting to the potential of Gav looking like he might slide and lose traction or what. Kyle Hirsch, he's got this down to 0.2 of a second. Is this Kyle Hirsch's opportunity to strike? This is a tough place to make a move, but will he throw it in on the inside? He's right there, breathing down Kerbel's neck. He's not going to do it here, but as we talked about, it's a much better opportunity here to maximize your exit speed out of this turn down this long straight. Make a move on the inside or switch back on the outside. This next hairpin turn, we've seen a lot of overtakes happen. We've seen a lot of mistakes being made. Neil Kerbel's got the straight line speed. Neil Kerbel looks like he's going to hold the position. Not enough for Kyle Hirsch to make the move, but he can force pressure. Neil slipping and sliding a little bit. Kyle Hirsch is looking for any opportunity. 2 minutes left to go. We probably got at least another full lap, potentially 2 more laps. Depending on, it looks like Ryan is just starting a lap, so we'll probably get 2 more laps here for these drivers, potentially 3. Very close battle here. Alan Leung has fallen back. He's 2.5 seconds behind Jim Kelly. So that battle has taken a breather. What battle has not taken a breather is Cam Waters chasing down Gav Cook. Cam Waters is teammates with Artur Sermanis on Harrod Racing. This is going to be big points for them. Also big points for Ryan Bono and I believe Sam Zawiza. No, Ryan Bono. Who's Ryan Bono's teammate? Ryan Bono's teammate is... Jackson Adams. So it'll be interesting to see because Professor Kronotis, he hasn't had too much time, although I think Professor Kronotis is the one who is with Sam Zawiza. That is going to be a scary team right there. We see still Cam Waters trying to do any possible chance, any opportunity to strike. Kyle Hirsch is right there. Let's hop over with him as he looks to make some. Oh, Kyle Hirsch ran really wide. He's able to hold that still. That would have been a great opportunity coming down here, coming out of that turn. 2/10 behind. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What did Jay just see happen? What did we see happen by Kyle Hirsch there? He came up a little wide. He ran up on the sand. He was going straight. He just loses it somehow. He just loses it. That opens it up for Cam Waters. That opens it up for Sam Zuiza. I don't know what happened, if he broke on the curb, if he spun. What happened to Kyle Hirsch? We saw in a previous season Hirsch's engine blow up. We're going to pray to God that that driver is okay, because that was a nasty collision out there. Kyle Hirsch, thoughts and prayers with you right now. Let's try to see where is our race leader on the track. I don't really want to jump away from this. Our race leader is partway through his lap here. I don't know if we're going to see another one after this. Drivers got to make moves. They got to make moves now. We got this. We also got Jackson Adams, who's continuing to close the gap. Is this Cam Waters' chance? No, it's not. He's going to think better of it here. Jackson Adams is right there. He is chasing down Tarugo. We're going to try to keep an eye on all these. Alan Leung has closed the gap on Jim Kelly. Once again, we're watching 3 battles here. What will we see? Who will we see? And I don't know what's going to happen. Jackson Adams, is he going to make the move here? And he's right there, a 10th behind Tarugo. It's not going to be his chance to do it, but Tarugo runs wide into the sand. So does Jackson Adams. He falls him down. They're going down this straight to the hairpin. Is this going to be his opportunity? Alan Leung is right there coming down this start straight finish. Is this an opportunity for him to make that over to Cam Waters? He's right there with Gavin Cook. They were side by side going through that turn as they look to line it up. Let's see, our race leader is working his way through these final chicanes here. Alan Leung, 6/10. Jackson Adams, he is half a second behind. 3/10 for Gav Cook and Cam Waters. We're going to continue to watch this race right here and see what happens with these. Alan Leung is 2/10. Is this Alan Leung's opportunity? We're going to see driver 8, Tarugo. Did he go off track? Was that Tarugo who just went off track? I don't think it was. It looks like we've got the checkered flag. So this is it for drivers. Tarugo's going to hold it over Jackson Adams. Alan Leung, he's right here. 3/10. This is going to be it for him as they round the corners. Cam Waters is falling a second behind Gav Cook, so it looks like Gav Cook's going to be able to hold that 3rd place position with Kyle Hirsch falling back. Alan Leung, this is going to be his opportunity to strike. We're going to line ourselves up. This last straight with the hairpin is going to be the best opportunity for Alan Leung to look to make that overtake move. Ryan Bono has come in 1st place overall. Neil Kerbel has secured his 2nd place position here. Is Alan Leung going to be able to make a move? Again, we are watching this as a podium battle here. This is going to be Alan Leung's time to strike. It doesn't look like he has the overlap, but if he wants to make a move, he's going to have to throw it in on the inside. It's close. It's a aggressive defense by Jim Kelly, throwing it on the inside. Alani has absolutely every right to, but did he slow down too much and did he run too wide? They're wheel to wheel coming through these final turns. Contact is made. Contact is made. Contact is made between Alan Leung and Jim Kelly. Alan Leung's going to get through. That's going to be 2nd place for him, but is Jim Kelly going to lose more than that? Jim Kelly is. Christopher Black's going to get through the contact. Absolutely insanity happening here through the final couple turns of the track. Sam Zuiza, he got 1st place in the Pro-Am class. 2nd place is now going to go to Alan Leung, who's going to cross that finish line. Christopher Black, because of the contact between Alan Leung and Jim Kelly, is going to find himself in 3rd place overall. Jim Kelly's going to fall to 4th place as he crosses the start straight finish line. Marion Satsar, he's going to cross the line. John Malott, he's right there. He's going to finish in 1st place in the AM class. TJ Hope is going to have 2nd and Gannon Faust in 3rd. This has been an absolutely incredible race as we're going to watch John Malott cross the finish line here and take 1st place in his start to the Pro-Am class. Ryan Bono, Neil Kerbel, and Gav Cook are going to take 1, 2, 3 for the Pro class. Sam Zuiza, Alan Leung, and Christopher Black are going to take 1, 2, and 3 in an incredibly exciting Pro-Am class. And John Malott, TJ Hope, and Gannon Faust, 1, 2, 3, and again, another exciting AM class. Holy cow, what a finish to that race. Give me a second here. Let me catch my breath because that was an absolutely incredible finish. I'm going to catch my breath here. I'm going to line up. I'm going to see if I'm going to see if I'm having issues with Discord. If not, I really hope we can work through it to interview these drivers because that was insanity tonight. It was incredible tonight, and it was a bunch of degenerates racing tonight. I'll be right back with a little bit more right after this. All right. Let me see here. I did not correctly. Let me turn down the game audio here. Let's see. Is my mic working right now? Okay. Let me turn this down. All right, I forgot to save the highlights in the excitement there, so I am going to just find a different overlay to put up here. Now we'll just keep it at the home screen here as we do some interviews. We got a few drivers lined up. I might have to work through a little technical things. I'm going to pull in Gav Cook first. Gav, all right, give me a second. I have to get my... Actually, talk for me for a second. Okay, all right. Simmer down, buddy. Too much talking. No, I got to get my audio. I've been having some issues getting the Discord audio to pull in to stream, so... Yeah, I know. Exactly. You'll find out if you go back and watch the stream.
Okay, but I should watch it live. See you scrambling live.
All right, we just blew out their eardrums. Sorry about that for anyone viewing.
Too loud.
Okay. Let's see. Talk for me, Gav.
Hello, Dan. I'm back.
All right, there we go. We have you live on Twitch with our millions and millions of viewers here. Gavin James Cook. What a freaking race, man. I think maybe you had a single lap to breathe throughout that race. I mean, how about that, huh?
Yeah, I was so slow compared to everybody else. Like 2 seconds slower than Cam at the end, and he was just chasing me down. And then as soon as he got in my dirt, yeah, that was it. He couldn't get past, and he made a few cool moves. But yeah, I just kind of I managed to hold on. It was pretty lucky, I think, to get P3 from that. I don't think I was anywhere near the pace today.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not about the pace; it's about the consistency. You kept it on track for the most part. You had a clean pit stop, and I mean, you had to be sweating up a storm there with that just non-stop battles that you were in throughout that race.
Yeah, I didn't take tires at the end, so my pit stop was super quick. So I knew I was going to be up against it towards the end of the race, and those boys were catching so quick.
So in hindsight, do you wish you took the tires?
No, because I don't think I would have had the pace anyway, because I was so slow, like throughout practice, qualifying, like just like at least a second and a half of everybody else who was up at the pros. So I was just kind of holding on for dear life the whole time. So I think not taking tires and taking that 5 second gap was probably the right move, and just holding on.
Yeah, well, it was an incredible race. Action-packed up and down the grid, especially with you. So congratulations, another podium, another great race in the book. The big 100th race tonight. I can't believe I haven't thought of that until right now. I was about to throw you out to the wolves. And then I remembered this is the 100. So congratulations on 100 races since we've started counting. I mean, you're like that old wily vet. You've been here before, like statistics were a thing or anything else, but here you are, 100 official races. How does it feel? The floor is yours.
I feel like I've got a aching back, aching arms, aching everything from racing too much. Yeah.
All right. Well, Gav, it's been 100 races, and we're definitely looking forward to 100 more. Congratulations on a huge podium tonight. I'll drop you over in the green room. Let Ryan know I'll be pulling him in just a second here.
Hey, sounds good.
Crazy. I cannot believe there was so much craziness going on before it started. Chat, how did it slip our mind? 100 races for Gav Cook. I think through that 100-year mark, finding himself third on the podium in the pro class tonight, Gav has to be our driver of the day. Big claps in chat for Gav Cook, our driver of the day. Let's pull in our race leader, Ryan. Ryan, what a race tonight. Absolutely incredible. I mean, no one was even like close to you. It felt like you pretty much lapped every driver on the track twice. Tell me, how was it for you out there? And you are muted in case you're not aware.
Oh, my bad. It felt good. Just turn one collision gave me a little bit of damage, so I had to go on that. But the rest of the race went fine. So,
Yeah. I mean, it was just absolute domination out there. And, scary to think of what the pace would have looked like without damage. I think you finished like 18 or 19 seconds ahead of the next driver. So, I mean, it was pretty much just you out there and then some eventual back markers. Is Barcelona a track that you like, you're comfortable with, or it was just a good race for you tonight?
I think it was just a good race for me tonight. I haven't raced in that track since I think F1 23, so I had to get prepped right after the Hungary Grand Prix. So
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure in 23 it was a different layout. I think it ends with the chicanes right down into that main straight. Well, great race tonight. Now, back-to-back wins here. You've come in as a rookie and just taken DRL by a storm. What does the rest of the season have in store for you?
I hope it goes like all of these other races. The only thing that I think is bad for me is Donington Park and Imola, because I haven't raced those tracks in GT3s yet.
All right. Donington Park is a really tricky track. Very technical. Imola is Imola. If you've raced it in F1 or in any other thing, it's a familiar track, and I think it'll come back to you pretty quickly. It's a really fun track. At least it's a track I really enjoy to race. Well, Ryan, we've really enjoyed watching you in these first two races. We're excited to watch you for 6 more races this season, and excited to see you. Where are we next week? Next week we are in Donington Park. So we're coming back to back on tough races for you. So get ready to start practicing Donington Park, and really excited to see what a difficult track will look like for you out there.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, we have one final driver who is in our green room ready for an interview. Another driver who had non-stop action tonight. Let's get him in here. Cam Waters. Cam, welcome to the stream. What an incredible race tonight. Again, non-stop action. How are you feeling after this race?
That was a really good race for me. It was really good second race here to just feel out the drivers around me. Obviously I had a Gav in front of me who was really experienced, really fast driver, so really good battle with him. Just unfortunate with me. Actually I was very fortunate at the start because I got very lucky getting away from the incidents, moving up to P2, but then I just got stuck behind Gav again.
Yep.
Because he somehow jumped me at the start because he had a really good start. But I thought, after I cleared him, that I don't know what happened between him and the other driver. I can't remember who it was, but I went in front of them and then I went into the pits. I don't know what happened. Somehow the pit didn't register when I got into the box, so I had to restart the car and then move forward by a few millimeters to actually
Like activate the
pit.
pit. Yeah, we were looking at that
really weird.
throughout the race. We were wondering like, oh, was there damage or something else? Because I want to say it was like 15 seconds more than everyone else you ended up spending in the pits. So did you end up taking tires in your pit stop as well, or did you not do? Yeah.
Initially, my plan was to go with tires, and I did go with tires eventually, but it was just really unfortunate because I didn't see it because I just parked the car and I looked away, having a drink of water,
Yeah.
I looked back and I realized, oh wait, my car's not being serviced. So I was like, oh shit. So let me pull back up, and I realized, oh man, it was too late because yeah, I was just unfortunately I lost so much time behind the pack and had to settle for P4, but it was a good race altogether.
Yeah, and it was funny, talking to Gav earlier tonight about how this was like a track he felt so slow on and was like, I don't know how I got in front of everyone, and then, I had everyone behind me that I was just having a battle with. But yeah, it was a really exciting race. I mean, you were in there with Kyle. Neil Kerbal returned to the grid. He might be a new face to you, but he's been around here for a lot of seasons, and he's a really quick driver. So it was really exciting watching you guys battle that out. Again, another race for Cam, another exciting race. How are you feeling about next week at Donington Park?
Oh man, I'm not feeling too good, bro. Like, I haven't done that track at all. Like, not even one lap in this ACC. So I just have no idea what to expect. It has to be a track where I just have to practice like
Yep.
on my own. But it's gonna be a really fun learning experience. Had
Yeah.
some experience at Spencer team in pre-season, so let's see what happens. But
Eh,
I think it's gonna be a difficult track because it's very bumpy and it's one of those British tracks that it's really hard to stick your car onto the curb. So
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be
Lots
really
of
fun to learn.
lots of dangerous points. But with all these highly technical tracks, you'll find a lot of times it's a race of attrition, right? Who keeps their car on the track? Who doesn't make mistakes? And just being consistent sometimes is the most important thing. So, well, great race tonight, Cam. It's been so exciting watching you these first two races, and we're really excited to see what the next 6 races here have in store for you. Good luck next week. We'll be really excited to see how all your practice pays off.
Thank you so much.
All right. Uh, okay, let's see. So we've gone through our interviews tonight. What a freaking race tonight. Holy cow. Qualifying. We didn't really watch practice at all, but we dove in right at the start of qualifying. Incredible qualifying session, as our drivers always do. Our Pro-Am drivers, what, 6 drivers were separated by 3/10? Are you kidding me right now? Incredible. And then we get into the race. Action right off the bat. Turn 1, contact, opens the door. Drivers are finding themselves all over the place. Some drivers ahead of others that maybe they wouldn't have been otherwise. Battles, battles, battles. I can't think of a single lap this race that we had no drivers less than half a second from each other. And I know I said that before, but this was, I honestly think this has probably been the most exciting race that we've ever had on stream here. I hope everyone enjoyed it tonight. Huge shout out to Neil Kerbal returning to the grid. So excited to have him here with us. And to Gavin Cook, a huge shout out. Congratulations and all the love in the world for Gav Cook. 100 races here at DRL is such an incredible accomplishment. And that is not including, I think we ran 8 seasons of F1 before we really started tracking some of this stuff. So, 8 races, you're talking about another 24, 30 races, depending on how many we did. I think we even had some 12 race seasons there. So, the guy's probably looking at almost 150 races here at DRL, a true OG. Let's take a quick look at our schedule. We did our first mystery track of the season, which was an intense battle in the Hungaroring. Then we went off to tonight Barcelona, which was an incredibly exciting race, a very racy track that did not disappoint. Next week, we'll find ourselves in Donington Park, a technical track, a track that will push the drivers to their limits. Mistakes will be made, and it's the best way to make up places is by forcing a mistake. Then we're going to go to Imola, another racy track, another track the drivers love. We've seen a lot of action around Imola throughout the days. Then we're going to go to Spa. We haven't raced Spa in a while, so it'll be really exciting to see how that plays out. Again, a few spots for some good overtaking opportunities. Then we're going to go to Mount Panorama. Mount Panorama, the mountain. A great opportunity for drivers to race. Another track that drivers like. Lots of interesting places to try to make moves. It's always a track that provides a ton of excitement. Then we're going to go to Misano. Misano's only been raced here like 2, maybe 3 times, but every time there have been some incredible moments on the track, and they've been really exciting races. It'll be really exciting to see how that plays out. And then we're going to conclude the season with the mystery track. Who knows where it will be? And a reminder, this season, the mystery track, we're not only spinning for the track where we're racing, but we'll be spinning for the weather conditions. I think after getting some driver feedback, we're going to look to add more rain potential to the wheel. They want chaos. We'll give them chaos. We will look to, add some more rain blocks on there and see how that will play out. But what a race tonight. Let's kind of get ready to wind this down. But before we go, we want to take another opportunity to thank all of our Patreon Gold subscribers. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. Feel free to join us in Discord. I will drop a link in chat here. And you can join us in Discord if you want to hang out with us. You want to join Patreon, we would love to have you on Patreon as well. Even if you just got Amazon Prime, we'd love a Prime subscription here. You can follow us along on YouTube as well. You can always check out all the new stats and fun information about the league on our new website at degenerate-raceleague.com. Thank you guys all so much for being here for another exciting race here in Season 10. This is Dan Delatorre, and I will see you all next week at Donington Park.
On the